what you are saying. Difficulty organizing written and spoken language. So what has been spoken, what has been said, transferring that into a written pattern is a problem with them. Delayed ability to speak. So, like, these are the children probably who may be having a delayed milestone. Poor self-expression, like, unable to express themselves. So, like, may not be using the exact word, that thing, teacher, that teacher, you understand, teacher, that stuff, teacher. So these are the terminology that they would be using, groping to find the correct word.
Vocês como
Difficulty,
estão?
difficulty learning new vocabulary, because either through reading or hearing. So the vocabulary also is very poor. Trouble learning foreign languages. So, like, that is why our children with learning disability get exemption in the second language, because they're unable to handle one primary, the first language. Then learning an additional language, which becomes the second language, and also a third language, becomes very difficult. So that is why we try to get them accommodations and exemptions from other language. Slowness in learning songs and rhymes. So, like, when you have a problem with like, memory, then in that case, unable to learn rhymes, unable to learn songs. Slow reading, as well as giving up on longer reading tasks. Either they will be very slow, I demonstrated how they would be reading, or, like, they may not be spelling out the words, but the reading would be very slow. And but then what happens is that they reach halfway through, and then they just give up and say, I can't read beyond this. Or they may add their own words or substitute those words which are there. Difficulty understanding questions, following directions, poor spellings. So if reading is not there, spelling also may be poor. And number sequence, ask them to do, tell them numbers of the telephone, the addresses. Uh, may have difficulty with left and right, like, when you tell them, like, come on, start wear your shoes, you do an exercise in the classroom, activity in the classroom, and then all children take off their shoes, and then after that you say that, okay, come on, wear your shoes and get back to class. This is the child who would be struggling, like, does not know left to right, and that is why writing also becomes a problem wherever this direction is required. So directionality we need to determine, and also the laterality of the child we need to determine. The second one is dysgraphia. These children will have a very strong dislike for writing, drawing, any motor skill. When we do assessment, we generally, to check their written expression, we ask them to write an essay or a story. It takes so much of effort, so much of cajoling, so that the child can write, should write. And then you wouldn't believe that after writing a paragraph, the child gives up, I cannot write beyond this. So these are the children you would observe that their exercise books are always incomplete. Problems with grammar. There will be trouble in writing down their own ideas. You ask them, write it in your own words. They will not be able to write in their own words. There's less energy, less interest in writing. Trouble writing down thoughts in a logical sequence. Ask them to write your thoughts, and what these children will, there would not be a sequence in the thinking process. Saying words out aloud while writing, so they are saying it and writing, saying the spelling and writing, leaving words unfinished, omitting them when writing sentences. Oh, I've left out one. Dyscalculia is related to maths, related to numbers. So change in cash transactions. So like, when you have problems, so there could be problems with money transactions, there could be problems with maths problem. Application, three things which is we can see. First is the numeracy, that is the number facts, the operations, and the application. These are the three, and application is what is required everywhere. Whatever I have learned, I apply it in other situations. That becomes a problem. Trouble organizing logical information sequence. So like, your steps in maths, and even in the 10th standard, if you're solving a sum and if your steps are correct, you score some marks. But if your steps are wrong, you cannot do anything. If sequencing is wrong, so generally, tasks which require sequential steps, which require them sequencing something, that is a problem with them. Difficulty with verbally describing the maths process. How have you done it? Tell me the explanations. What is the logic behind this? They will not be able to do that. Okay. Dyspraxia is the others I said is a non-verbal learning disability, oral and written language. But this is a very common thing also, where problems organizing oneself and one things, like, I need to sit here. These are the children where some of them would not know the distance as to where I should sit. If they have to sit between two people, I and you would make a place and sit accordingly. These children will not be able to do that. So breaking things, cups are broken, pencils are broken, glasses are broken. Trouble with tasks that require eye-hand coordination. So whether it is assembling of puzzles, or whether it is cutting, whether it is balancing, like, driving a bicycle, or eating with a fork and knife. Like, if they're eating with fork and knife, be prepared that either the plate will fall, or like, the spoon will fall, or a fork will fall, or a knife will fall. It has to happen. A sensitivity to to loud or repetitive noise, such as ticking of a clock. Sensitivity to touch. Sometimes it may like, your it may be very irritating, over bothersome, feeling clothes, like, you may be touching you or touching your clothes. So that may be there. So when I say learning disability, these were the warning signs, the few red flags that we can see. Having seen that, what we do is we need to do an assessment, and a thorough combination of intelligence test, academic testing, achievement testing, classroom performance, social interaction, and aptitude. The other areas of perception, which may include, is your perception, cognition, memory, thinking, language abilities. And these can be, the results of these can be used to determine whether a child's academic performance commensurates with his or her cognitive abilities. At SNDT, we believe we do a lot of remediation and we do a lot of assessment. But what we believe is that a lot of people do remediation of reading and remediation of writing, remediation of maybe spellings and maths. But what we believe that if you remediate the cognitive processes, that is memory, attention, thinking, perception, then we will be able to, the implication will be seen in the child's reading, it will be seen in the child's writing. I'm not saying that we need not remediate reading, writing, maths. What I'm saying is that you need to remediate the look at the cognitive processes, because if memory is a problem, or attention is a problem, maths will always be a problem, because maths requires memory, maths requires alertness. So you may be teaching the child application, you may be teaching the child number facts, but if that memory is a problem, he will keep forgetting. So at SNDT, we believe in doing the remediating the cognitive processes. Tomorrow, Mrs. Panshikar will be talking to you on various remedial techniques which in the classroom we can use, and we all use it in our classroom, so that it is not just the child with learning disability benefits, but in fact the whole class benefits. And finally, thank you very much. It takes someone special to teach someone special. Find the ability in disability. So thank you very much for listening to me. And
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation. Actually, this is not a cup of tea to deal with the learning disability, but madam has made it more simple with her skill and efficiency and with a wonderful presentation. Actually, madam has rightly pointed out that learning disability is invisible. Therefore, it is very difficult to identify. And this red flag area is mostly is the identification for various areas. And
actually, it will help in screening.
yeah,
It
yeah,
will.
ma'am.
It is the first step to screen children, and then only we can go on to identification by a proper psychological assessment,
And
psychoeducational rather.
in the case of learning disability, I think, ma'am, it is very important to identify in early life.
Yes.
This is very important.
Yes.
And madam also discuss intelligence, attention disorder, hyperactivity, attention deficit, lot of things. And madam also rightly pointed out that learning disability is not a disease, rather it is a disorder. And madam also discuss a lot of things like dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyspraxia, and dyscalculia. Thank you so much, ma'am. And now the floor is open for questioning, and I am requesting all participants, please write your question in the chat box, and I will try to convey your question to our respected ma'am.
Yes, Vijay ji.
Any question? Again, I am requesting all the participants.
Either I have not taught anything, or probably they have understood everything.
No, ma'am. Definitely they
Hello,
will.
sir. Yeah, this is
Yes, yes,
Mehak
yes,
Jiswani. I am an
yes,
occupational therapist from Mumbai. So
yes.
you were discussing, ma'am had discussed, thrown light on all the aspects of LD. So my question was, why, for identifying dyslexia, there was like, the child has trouble writing his own thoughts in a logical sequence. That is the prime hallmark criteria as far as I am aware. So, ma'am, what is the age at which we would expect a child to write down,
No.
thoughts
Uh,
in a logical
no.
sequence?
Like, when you have smaller children, then in that case, writing one's own thought doesn't come there. That is the
Yes.
time when you make the child copyright. Okay.
Yes.
When you make the child copyright, then you see the letter formations, right? You can see the type of handwriting it is, because then the child, probably in the third standard, fourth standard, we cannot expect the child to write his own thoughts, or to write an essay, right?
Yeah, that
That
was
comes at
precisely,
at a
yeah.
later age, when the child is in let's say in the seventh standard, eighth standard, where we ask the
Yeah.
child to write.
Okay.
Madam, thank you, ma'am. There is a question that is different between specific learning and learning disability. Is there any difference? Uh,
Earlier, it used to be called learning disability, but with the DSM-5, it has been called specific learning disability, and that is why I had said, why is it called specific learning disorder? Is because they do not stem from any other condition, and this is what is mentioned in the DSM-5. So now
Thank
the
you.
new terminology which is used after the DSM-5, which came out in 2016, if I'm not mistaken, is they use the term specific learning disability now.
Yes, yes, yes. There is another question from Gothami, and she asked, I have come across with children who are unable to cope up with the academic, but are attaining age of 14 to 15. These children suddenly started doing well in their studies. Does these children have SLDs?
I am not able to understand. Probably has the child has a problem in the which has been identified in the 8th or the ninth standard, or has started doing well?
Actually, I think she would like to say about 14th to 15th age, they are doing well, but in their earlier life, they were not well. Actually, ma'am, I think so.
That is okay. There are many of us who have had learning issues in our childhood, and probably as and when we grew up, and like, with the different exposure that we have got, we have been able to do very well. Many of us have done that. Now, what happens is that if the child does not have problems with academics, and he will not be learning disabled. In
And
one way,
thank you, ma'am. There is another
having
question
problems
from,
with academics, there should also be problems which we can see throughout.
yeah, yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
a lot of misdiagnosis is happening, and people are taking advantage of the learning disability certification which is coming. And that is why most of the boards have started this, that if the child is identified as having learning disability from a younger age, they ask
Uh,
for report cards, and they ask for assessment reports now. Especially the ICSC board has started doing that.
Thank you, ma'am. And there is another question from Tarashankar Pramanik, that is, please explain poor note taking and outlining skill.
Okay.
Ma'am, I think already you have discussed it.
I
And
have
okay,
discussed
ma'am.
it. If
Yeah.
you give your email ID to Antara ma'am or Sarkar sir, maybe I can send you some references regarding that.
Ma'am, I
You
have
can,
a question. I
Yes,
am Baby Datta Chaudhary. Do we have any training program for the teachers of the learning disabled children?
we have a
Any
number of
plan?
programs. In
Okay.
fact, your NSOU is also planning to do something.
Yes.
So be in touch with them. I'm sure you will get more information.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello.
yes,
Ma'am,
yes.
I am Sri Kundu. My question is learning problem and learning disability are same
No,
or
learning
not?
problem or learning difficulty and learning disability are different. Was my first slide.
Yes, ma'am.
No,
Ma'am, can you
uh,
explain, ma'am, shortly, ma'am, please?
Yes, when you have a learning a difficulty could be because of poor motivation, it could be poor schooling, it could be poor teachers, poor teaching, it could be because of one's own interest, one's own motivation. Disability is a disorder. It is what the child brings to the learning situation. It could be a problem with the child's cognitive abilities. It could be the child's memory. I wouldn't say motivation is not there. When I have so many problems, I may not be motivated to do, but that does not become a primary problem. People
hello.
can overcome their difficulties.
Thank,
Disability, we need to help them to overcome.
thank you, ma'am. Antaradik, actually, what about time? Actually, how many questions can we take? Actually, uh,
I think one or two question more maximum.
Hello.
okay, okay.
Time is very short.
So I'm
Okay.
taking the last question, ma'am. How does assessment and diagnosis of a learning disability get affected if it occurs as a comorbidity with a condition like autism? How can one distinguish the issues because they overlap with some of the issues seen in autism?
You will have to see what is the primary disability.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
So,
autism is separate. The child can be having learning issues. You will have to determine the primary disability. Like, you may be having LD with ADD. So a child with in Jayanti ma'am's session also somebody had asked a child with low vision with ID. So there can be a child with low vision with learning issues, learning problems. So that the learning disability then becomes secondary. The primary becomes is the child's low vision.
Okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am. Actually, once again, I would like to convey our sincere thanks and gratitude to our respected madam for a wonderful session. And just I would like to request Dr. Abhidananda Panigrahi sir for next session. And over to Panigrahi sir.
Thank you, Porimal. Really, it was very interesting and informative session. Thank you, madam. Thanks a lot from our university and myself also. Now some announcement. May I now request Mr. Shantara Chaudhary, please say announcement, say a few words. After that, may I request our director, sir, please say a few words and concluding the session. Please, Antara, over to Antara.
Yes. Thank you, Panigrahi. And thank you everyone for being with us, and very special thanks to Preeti Verma madam and Janti Narayan madam. I think madam is with us till end of the program, and thank you very much both madam. Preeti madam is my guide, mentor, and I'm so happy that she also accepted being here, and it was wonderful session, ma'am. I was just checking all the chat boxes, like it was full of appreciation, and I was so happy seeing that. And one announcement to all the participants: we are pleased to announce that we are planning to launch short-term online course on MOOC platform, preferably on MOOC platform. It's on management of children with learning disabilities, specific learning disabilities. So I'll be communicating with you all before launching our program. That is the announcement, and then there are some general instruction to all of you. For our tomorrow's program, there are questions are coming that regarding feedback link. So we'll be, as I already mentioned, that we'll be sharing feedback link through Zoom chat box, and it will be sharing tomorrow only during our valedictory session, and the link, Zoom link, will be sent for both the days. And along with that, we'll try to link with YouTube also. We have already started showing in live session, that YouTube session. So we'll inform that to you all, that our YouTube channel description also will send it to you all. If those who have not been able to join through Zoom link, they can able to join through our YouTube link also. That's all. Now I would request, if our director sir is there, please, our director sir,
Hello,
Dr.
sir.
Dr. Atindranath De. Hello. I think again he left.
Okay, may I now request Professor Swapon Kumar Sarkar?
Yes.
Sarkar sir.
Yes.
Please conclude the session.
Oh.
Okay.
So, since afternoon, we are listening to great speakers, Professor Narayan and Professor Preeti Bharmaji. And to me, that I was listening Girija Devi rendering Rag Megha Mallar during this monsoon session. Madam, we have no words to express our sincere gratitude to you. You have handled it very excellent way, and we are very enriched with your inputs. And uh, only a person like you can handle all these issues. Dr. Parimal Sarkar has rightly said, the specific learning disability is an important area. There are so many uh, intricate issues. So you have handled all the issues very seriously and nicely. Only a person with such a rich background can only deliver in this way. We are very thankful to you, madam, and we would request you, the NSOU will contact you in future also. Our EMED in special education is going to be launched. Your advice, your guidance will be required as and when it is required. Dr. Srimati Antara Chaudhuri and other colleagues from School of Education will contact you. You please extend your hand.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam. Uh,
Janti ma'am also with us. So
then,
Janti madam also with us.
yes.
Yes, sir.
We are also thankful to Professor Jayanti Narayan ma'am. She has also spoke in excellent way, and this can only possible by a person like you, madam. You have vast experience. You have handled all these issues since your uh, entire professional life. So a person like you can handle all these issues. Your presentation and slides were smart slides, and Madam Preeti Verma's slides were also very smartly prepared and presented. We are thankful to you, Madam, and we need your sincere assistance and guidance when we are going to introduce MAD in special education. We have hurriedly prepared our SLMs. You were with us during the formative days, and we also request you. Uh, we will contact you, will reach to you, and you will extend your all cooperation so that we can be successful in introducing MAD in special education, madam. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much.
Over to Antara or Dr. Panigrahi to conclude.
Okay.
Thank you all of you. Now we close the session to today's session. Tomorrow we will start our session at 2 p.m. The same link. Antara, is it right?
Yes,
Same.
the same Zoom link, what already has been shared with you all through email. So that same Zoom link, you can enter with that link. And as I said, our technical team is trying to make it live through YouTube so that more can reach. So, and these technical hinges can be overlooked or overcome. So we are trying on that, and we'll be sharing YouTube link also tomorrow. And thank you. We appreciate you being here with us and participated actively. Thank you once again for joining us today. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
all.
much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
madam.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Janti ma'am. Thank you, Preeti ma'am. Thank you for being with us. Thank you. And Janti ma'am was throughout in the session. So
Thank you so much, ma'am.
It was an excellent session. It was excellent by Preeti.
Yes, ma'am.
I was just thinking how her students are so lucky.
Yeah,
And her students. She's so
actually,
I get very nervous when you are around.
Oh, come on, Preeti. It was so good.
Madam,
and
we are enriched.
you simplified it so much, what the people think is very complicated. You simplified it so
and
much.
ma'am, I was just
But I always get butterflies in my stomach when
Come
you
on,
are
come on. Not at
And ma'am, I just get back to our my SNDT days of my B.Ed and M.Ed program when we was just waiting for Preeti ma'am's lecture session. We used to wait for. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely, I can understand that.
We were hostelites. So I was staying in the hostel, and we never missed. We never missed her session. It was just waiting for us. It was wonderful, ma'am. And your session also, ma'am. I was just
beautifully she did brought in every point that has to be brought in such a short time and so simplified. That's the beauty of it, you know, absolutely simplified. So nice, so nice.
And ma'am, yours also, it was so informative. Excellent session, ma'am. Janti madam.
Because so thank you. I had to go from early childhood to adulthood all in one go, no?
Yes, ma'am. And you have touched all the important aspects and all the important points you have touched upon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And we'll be happy if you tomorrow also you join with us.
I will. It's my privilege to learn from all the August speakers. I look forward.
Yes. Thank you so much,
ma'am.
Okay. Bye, ma'am. Bye. Okay. Amitabh, should I leave now? Amitabh
for setting right the glitch particularly. I was very nervous and he really got it straightened out.
Yeah, actually it's God's grace and everything was under control.
Will be a better day. Yeah.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for wonderful session, and we come to know about many prospects about LD.
So much to do. All of us together have to help these children. Let us all work.
Yes, ma'am. That is important. Thank you all. Thank you and bye.
Okay.
And regarding feedback link, we'll be sharing it tomorrow, not now. It's a 2 days program, right, participants? Dear participants, It's a 2 days program. So we'll be sharing tomorrow, not today. Okay, thank you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you
so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate that you all did it against all odds.
Thank you. Thank you for your encouraging words, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, shall we?
Yes. Yeah. You can leave. Dear participants, you all can leave. Dear participants, you all can leave. Tomorrow we'll see you again. Amitabh?
Shall I close the
Yeah.
Close the meeting.
We have finished with it. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye all. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Bye. Amitabh, you may close.